The summer box office is roaring back to life thanks to joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust. After Bad Boys, Ride or Die kicked a lackluster blockbuster season into high gear last week, Inside Out 2 is keeping the ball rolling with a $155 million domestic opening, as per ComScore. That makes it the first film of the year to open upwards of that crucial $100 million threshold. The sequel to the 2015 Pixar film also marks the second biggest domestic opening for the animation studio, as well as the second biggest domestic opening for any animated film, behind only The Incredibles 2 in both categories. Internationally, the film took in an additional $140 million, for a global debut of $295 million, making it the highest global animated opening of all time. Inside Out 2 returns to the mind of newly minted teenager Riley just as headquarters is undergoing a sudden demolition to make room for something entirely unexpected: new emotions. Joy, Amy Poehler; sadness, Phyllis Smith; anger, Lewis Black; fear, Tony Hale, replacing Bill Hader; and disgust, Liza Lapira, replacing Mindy Kaling, who've long been running a successful operation by all accounts, aren't sure how to feel when anxiety, Maya Hawke; ennui, Adele Exarchopoulos; envy, Ayo Edebiri; and embarrassment, Paul Walter Hauser, show up. Whereas the original film gave kids a toolbox with which to deal with their own emotions, the sequel hopes to do the same for teenagers. The first film gave everyone a visual language to talk about their feelings, director Kelsey Mann told Entertainment Weekly. I thought, if I can do that for teenagers, which was probably the hardest time in my life, and if I can make that time a little better, then I'd love to. The fourth installment in the Bad Boys franchise fell off a respectable 42% from its #1 debut last week, earning $33 million and bringing its domestic haul to $112.2 million. Internationally, the Will Smith-Martin Lawrence buddy cop action comedy brought in $30.8 million, for a global cum of $214.60 million. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes dropped off only 4% from last week, earning $5.2 million over the weekend for a domestic total of $157.8 million, $374.5 million globally. The Garfield movie dropped 50% to #4 with $5 million for a domestic haul of $78.5 million, $217.8 million globally. And rounding out the top 5, the Dakota Fanning supernatural horror flick The Watchers, directed by M. Night Shyamalan, grossed $3.7 million, bringing its 2-week total to $13.7 million, $23.3 million globally.